What is Happening to Me by Sulet Snyman. This book is for all those who are small with big emotions and those who are big with small emotions. My name is Ben. We live in a beautiful village on the outskirts of London. London is the capital and the largest city in England, and also the United Kingdom. Life is good, and I can enjoy the freedom of the forests as well as the busyness of central London. A few weeks ago, my parents felt disappointed because I was more aggressive than before. Even my friends saw it, and they were starting to avoid me. I got angry, and in the mood, I screamed and shouted and even said and did rude things. I sometimes slammed the door or threw and kicked things around. I didn't understand these big feelings, and I couldn't explain it. I always wanted to be popular amongst my friends. You know, that guy who is mysteriously known as the most important kid in school. When you are popular, then everybody wants to be your friend and they want to hang out with you. They want to sit at your table at lunchtime and share a few jokes with the rest of the group. I wanted my opinion to matter the most. Okay, I'm cute, with dark hair and emerald green eyes, and I can make people laugh. But I need to work hard to get good grades. I like maths and science, but I'm not very good at writing essays. I exercise 2 or 3 times a week, and I play football with my dad on Saturdays. My mum works at the school. She's a lunch lady. Oh, and I have a sister. She is younger than me. I do like my sister, but I don't always want to do the things she wants to do when we spend time together. I don't have the best football skills yet, but I want to be the number 1 player in the football team. That's my main aim at this stage of my life. I spend quality time with my dad, and I'm really proud of him because he works long hours for us to have a house and a decent car. He works at the bank and he travels by bus to get to the office. He likes to look at fast cars and often takes me to football matches. You could say that everything is just perfect. Nothing can go wrong, and it is a very safe place. One morning, when I arrived at school, a new guy walked through the doors of our classroom. The guy introduced himself in a very arrogant way. His laughter was really annoying, and he made himself known by his loud voice. The teacher liked this new guy from the start. She could not be more helpful to him. I think I felt jealous, if I had to be honest. Everyone in my class suddenly started trying to impress him. I felt like there was a massive, big fire on the verge of exploding in my head, and it was going to make me lose my thinking cap. I went up to him and introduced myself with a very unkind introduction. Hey, do you know who I am? The new guy then took 2 steps forward and with his smelly breath in my face said, I don't care who you are. With that, the new guy turned his back on me and walked straight towards the prettiest girls in the school and said, "Hey, want to come to my party over the weekend?" The girls blushed and could not wait for him to finish before saying, "Yes, yes, yes, of course, yes." At that moment, I realized that the fire had exploded in my head. My thinking cap was off into space. I started screaming and shouting at anyone and everyone. It was at that moment that a very good friend of mine, Sophie, walked over to me and asked me if I would join her. She wanted to show me something. I was annoyed with her, but nobody else was coming to help, so I went with her. Sophie took me to one of the classrooms where she was popping balloons on strings, and I joined in. It sounded like thunder, and there was nothing left of something so beautiful and colourful as those balloons once they were popped. I popped balloons until it was just a bit too much for me and I had to stop. She said, "This is how people feel when you get angry. If you shout at people, they don't want to be your friend. The popped balloon cannot be mended again. Likewise, if you get angry and you hurt someone, it's not always possible to mend friendships. You have to think before you speak." Suddenly, everything made sense, and I understood what had happened to me. I lost my thinking cap. Mostly, the following things happen to us. We close our mouths, we stop breathing, or we breathe too fast and take short breaths, like this. Our heart races because the oxygen is less. Our blood pressure rises, the brain reacts differently, and our bodies prepare for action. When we have our thinking cap on, this is what your brain is doing. The actions part of the brain controls the things that we do automatically, things like our breathing and our heartbeat. The emotions part of the brain controls our response, whether we stay and fight or run away, the sensible option. The thinking part of the brain helps us to solve problems. With our thinking cap safely on our heads, we are able to solve problems. If we get into a difficult situation, we are able to think clearly and find the best outcome. For example, when the new boy comes into the classroom, instead of saying, "Do you know who I am?" say something like, "Hey, welcome to our school. Do you like football?" The new boy will have no reason to avoid you, and you would have to. The new boy will have no reason to avoid you, and you would not have to get angry and lose your thinking cap. Guess what happens when we get angry and lose our thinking caps? We will not get enough oxygen to our brain. The fight or run areas of the brain will be activated and it will take over. We will get angry and will not be able to solve any problems because we are not thinking clearly. So, How are we going to get our lost thinking cap on again? Well, Ben discovered, with the help of his friend, that when our thinking cap gets lost, we can get it back by doing a few things. Ben discovered, with the help of his friend, that when our thinking cap gets lost, we can get it back by doing a few things. 1. Go to a safe place. 2. Take a deep breath of air. Hold it for a count of 3 and repeat. Like this. 1, 2, 3. 3. Do the breathing technique until our heartbeat slows down. 4. Stay in a safe place for at least 7 minutes. Stay in the safe place for at least 7 minutes. 5. Think calmly about what happened. And then go back and try again. Ben was very glad that he got his thinking cap back, and he decided to blow up a balloon and give it to Sophie. He wanted her to be his friend again, and she loved the gesture. She agreed to be his friend. Ben's wishes came true, and now he is the popular guy because he shared his story with his friends. Angerletics. It stands for Anger Athletics. Let's do some anger athletics. Which situations make you lose your thinking cap? Tick the ones you choose. Someone teases you. Someone breaks your stuff. Someone is better than you in a game. Someone doesn't want to be your friend. Someone bumps into you. Someone bosses you around. Angerletics 2. What color would you use on your anger gauge? Color the labels for peaceful, calm, upset, annoyed, and furious with your own choice of color. Angerletics number 3. Where do you feel the anger in your body when you get angry? Tick the ones you choose. Head, chest, belly, legs and arms, or anywhere else. Example: a fire in your head, a volcano in your tummy, a hot potato in your mouth, or a blaze in your heart. Angerletics number 4. Make your own anger gauge and keep it in a safe place. Whenever you get angry, you can use your anger gauge. You can make it with foam paper to create the arrow that will show where you are on your gauge. Something like this. Hope you enjoyed this. What is Happening to Me by Sulet Snyman.